people who are, those people like in the Publix that were doing that demonstration against the NRA, they're actually doing something. The people who say they are against abortion are saying they're against abortion in the privacy of their little home or in the four walls of a church, and they're not doing nothing else.
Good point.
They're not speaking out. They're not giving $1 to help somebody else go to the abortion clinics and pray with the women. That, you know, a lot of times people would go, but they can't afford to go. A lot of times people would do, but they can't do because they're physically not able.
Exactly.
But there are people who go. There are people who want to go. There are people who, I mean, our country is just like the baby saying, the reason they're doing that is because they can.
Yep.
Because I can.
Yep.
I do this in America because I can. I don't do this in Iran or in one of the Muslim countries because I'll die.
Exactly.
You know, I do it in America because I can, and nobody's going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
But we don't get up and do anything.
Real brave and courageous to lay down in an aisle in a grocery store and hold a little sign in protest. Real brave and courageous.
But how many times have you seen somebody go lay down somewhere in protest of the babies being murdered by Planned Parenthood?
Exactly.
Wherein lies, the blood comes on our hands.
Right. Right.
Because what are we doing to stop it?
And we don't have to protest like that. We can
No, we don't.
protest.
That's the difference.
And do it in a peaceful and I mean they were walking on through the aisle. They got up after laying down for I don't know how long, got up and walking off through the aisle shouting that chant and shouting some other things and boycott Publix, boycott Publix, boycott. Listen, I wish there was Publix here, I'd give them all my business. Just because of that. Amen. So you know we do what now? Give them on the mic. Give them on the mic.
Why are they in that store?
Because Publix evidently they must support NRA in some, or they feel like they support NRA in some fashion. That's fine. I ain't got a problem with that at all. But
the difference is nothing was
give her back the mic. Give her back the mic.
The difference is nothing was done. How many of them did you see being arrested?
Oh, none.
How many of them did you see being carried off for trespassing?
Exactly.
Or none of them, because they can. That's why they do it.
That's right.
So,
exactly.
But if you let like Rusty Thomas and Operation Save America, that's out here from daylight till dark and past that, trying to help save these babies from abortion at these murder mills, and they just sit down and they're all arrested, carried off, hog-tied, and everything else. And you see them being carried off, big numbers of them.
Oh yeah.
And all they're doing is praying.
Yeah.
Praying.
Yeah, absolutely.
And giving the gospel to the women that are going in there. That's all.
And they get arrested because the opposing forces know that they get away with it.
Well, because the people in the abortion clinics call the officers and get them arrested.
Right.
But at Publix, no, they just let them do it.
Yeah,
and they do it because they can.
Yeah. I don't know if I support them or not, given the manager don't have backbone to do something about it.
Exactly.
You know? But, and you know, we talk about these things, and we're very passionate about them, of course, and you know, in this nation, it was like, it was Senator Shealy, and I'm not making an excuse for this, but she did have a valid point, just a valid point, when she said, a few weeks ago when they were in debate over this anti-abortion bill, she said, we looked up in the galley and said, you know, all the people who were for abortion, who were pro-abortion, and wanted to shoot this bill down, they were all in the galley cheering their senators on. The Democratic senators and what few GOP senators that you know, were for passing the abortion, or for stopping the abortion amendment. And she said, where were the people who were supporting us? We had, before you say anything, let me finish my point. Where were the people who were supporting us? Now that's a valid point. But, like Mike Gonzalez said, we've been down there over the course of weeks. Many of us have been there. We've been in the galley over the course of weeks. But they drag things out and kick the can down the road, so we can't be there all the time. We can't be there every time. And so when the time we were there, we weren't recognized. And there was more of us in the galley. Now, one more point, I'll let you make your point. Kevin Baird made an excellent point when he said this. Somebody brought that question up at the press conference the other week. At the Alliance press conference, somebody brought that point up. And they tried to say, well, y'all don't have enough support. Kevin Baird said this. He said, as an elected official, and you've been put in office by people who feel this way, you shouldn't need a cheerleading section to do the right thing. Doesn't matter if there's 0 people in the galley or whatever you call it. You shouldn't need a cheering section. You should just do what's right, period. You shouldn't have to wait for the gallery to fill up people who support you. If everybody in the gallery is against you, you know you're doing the right thing, do the right thing. You don't need a cheering section. And as to that, I say amen.